experience should be designed. It is not an overnight task. You need to design and take time to understand what customers want.
Customer experience wisdom, a dash of travel talk. We've been cleared for takeoff.
The best meals are served outside and require a passport.
Okay, y'all know how excited I get when we get a guest on CX Passport from a country we've never had before. What amazes me a little bit about this, though, is how long it has taken me to get a guest from this country, as it is right next door to me. I'm even traveling there next week. So that is why I am excited to introduce our first guest from Mexico, Ariana Bucio. Sadly, hablo solo un poco español, but Mexico is a country I love and is a key cultural and business partner to my state in Texas. That's what has me so excited to talk with Ariana today, to get her wisdom and perspective on customer experience. Ariana is the COO at BP Gurus and the SDI representative for Latin America. She comes to us with deep experience in advanced technologies, IT service management, customer experience, and service desks. Folks, Ariana puts my poli-sci major and puts me to shame, as she holds a degree in cybernetics and computer systems engineering, along with a master's and PhD in advanced technology. I really should call her Dr. Bucio today. She has contributed as an author, reviewer, and official translator to some of the best global practices, including the SDI standards and the experience optimization framework. Thank goodness, because y'all heard how bad my Spanish was earlier. CX Passport travelers, vamos. Ariana, welcome to CX Passport.
Thank you so much, Rick, for this invitation. Not at all. Just tell me, Ariana, another simple model as any other.
Well, I will stick with Ariana then. We will go that route for sure. So many listeners and viewers may not have immediately thought we'd be talking about customer experience today when they heard the incredible technology education and experience you have. Yet IT services absolutely touch customers. How are you helping companies open their eyes to the reality that they're engaging with humans, even if it's through an IT service?
Well, I think that the primary strategic objective across the globe in any organization is to promote an outstanding customer experience. But what is experience? I think that the most important aspect is to understand what is experience. Experience and customer experience is inherently human. Experiences are how we feel and what we remember, the key moments in our lives, the basis of the stories we share. And the experiences we have shape our attitudes, the way we think, our behaviors, and we think that we interact every single day with several brands, products, or services in our lives. And this customer experience is impacting how we feel and how we can have a positive, neutral, or negative impact in our lives. So I think that as a customer, we are extremely sensitive about what we hate or love about a product or service. And maybe hate is synonymous of friction, and it is directly related to the perception of quality. But we need to press a reset button and start talking about a holistic view of the customer journey. In this digital era, I think that we really demonstrate that customer experience should be an innovative discipline that every interaction can promote to have a several new opportunity to have and exceed customer expectations. But first of all, we need to understand this human aspect of the services. Yes, we are talking about emotions, perception, maybe memories, but it also addresses a challenge for the organization that face this new era of evolving digital age to how we deliver services and experiences. This will catalyze all the business outcomes. So I think that we need to find this emotional connection in something that companies are recently prioritizing in their strategies.
This is your captain speaking. I want to thank you for listening to CX Passport today. We've now reached our cruising altitude, so I'll turn that seatbelt sign off. While you're getting comfortable, hit that follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast app so you'll never miss an episode. Love it if you'd tell a friend about CX Passport. Leave a review so others can discover the show as well. Now, sit back and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Ariano, embedded in that answer, it gets at exactly that we can call it an IT service, we can call it a technology, but it's what we experience as humans. And we can let the philosophers tell us whether machines actually will have experiences in the future, but right now it's humans that are having those experiences. And so I can certainly see how a deep technology background can bring someone to have a good insight into what customer experience is all about. Now, I know that I'm going to get to what is absolutely my favorite question when I talk to folks from new countries, but first, I want to talk to you about your experience with the service desk. When you and I were talking earlier, you mentioned there were 9 key themes for success on a service desk. Customer experience, thankfully, was one of those themes. Tell me more about your approach to the service desk, especially when we're thinking about customer experience.
Perfectly, yes. Let's see. A service desk as the front line for contacting IT in our companies, this will be the single point of contact for interacting with customers and the organization. The service desk agents will be the voice of the company for the customer and the voice of the company for the customer. So our customers need to remark that the main idea of the service desk should be help people, make their lives easy, enjoyable as possible, not to add extra worry, stress, and wasting time or energy rather than performing their daily activities. Maybe watching Netflix or having a walk or a conversation as we are having right now. We need to increase humanity, and this will seems that we need to have the illusion of efficiency. And the reality is that we need to invest time on designing this customer experience. So there are several frameworks and standards that will help us to define these best practices and define this operating model, considering the people and the very middle of the framework. So I will go deeper in the SDI standard. As you mentioned, we can apply any other frameworks such as ITIL, the experience optimization framework. But SDI standard will be the base because it is defined considering the European Foundation Quality Model. This considers 9 concepts with a holistic approach. We need to start with the leadership and the strategy in order to define the connection that we have with the business outcomes, the values, the culture of the organization, mission and vision, and this should be cascaded to the agents that are operating and interacting with our customers. People management. As we heard many times, if we have a happy workforce, we will also have a happy customers. So people who should be happy, motivated, having the complete talent management cycle developed, such a career plan, having performance development. So we need to take care about people. Also, we focus on the resources that are enabling the services, the processes and procedures to have a consistent approach to the services, and of course, customer experience, focusing on this customer-centric approach as part of the service desk. So the organizational strategy should be surrounded with this customer focus. The CX program or strategy will take the time to listen the feedback of our customers, know our customers, and define this customer journey considering the needs, the expectations, and reducing the friction with our customers. Also, do not forget to measure, because if we do not measure, we cannot control and compare the way we need to improve the services, the quality, the experiences, and remember that experience is not one size fits all. We should focus on developing this strategy to deliver amazing experiences.
A couple of things in there that you said. One, listeners and viewers would have seen me start to grin when you talked about the processes. And that is something I talk about a lot, that making customer experience successful requires a discipline around process. Closing there with the measurement part, it reminds me of something else that you had talked about with me. You'd mentioned a book, Reflections on XLA by Mark Smiley. XLAs go beyond this concept of SLAs, especially as we're talking about in the service desk world. Tell me why you're focusing on XLAs now, and how can companies best use that approach?
Yes, I highly recommend this book of Mark Smiley. As the title of the book says, it is a reflection. because these make us think when we talk about this digital era in products and services, we are very used to hear that services are measured through certain service level agreements or targets. But the question right here is, do those levels reflect what the customer needs are or what customer cares about? We solve the issues that customers have. I think that this was a milestone for many global leaders to identify the need and the disconnection of these operational metrics and the emotional and the sentiment and this human connection with the services. So we need to evolve in order to deliver not only services, we should deliver right now experiences in this digital era. An example is when we receive a package in our houses, we do not want to receive the package as in, I don't know, 10 years ago. Right now, if the package exceeds the time that was promised in our order, we will be angry. So we need to exceed customer satisfaction. And this is a highly significant aspect that we shift in this IT service management. We should focus on the user's emotions and also the experience that we have in the interactions that we are moving in these IT services. So the technical metrics should not be enough. The trend should be emphasizing maybe the experiences, the importance of understanding how IT services impact the end user experience.
Yeah.
And the movement is saying that by adopting XLAs, the organizations can align the IT experience management, the IT objectives with the customer expectations, not only having these technical aspects and it's saying that, yes, the server or the email is up, but if we do not have the service up, and maybe we are perceiving that the time of the connection is slow, we are not going to be satisfied, even though the service is up.
Okay, so it makes sense to me because what you're describing is a model of defining your metrics with the customer's lens, which is what we talk about in customer experience all the time. What does the customer want? Especially in an IT world. And I've got some memories of when I was working in a highly operational company. And so the metrics were very operational based. How can you help a company change their mindset? So not so much about the specifics, but change that mindset to be focused on the customer, the XLAs, as opposed to the SLA.
I previously talked about the experience optimization framework. There are right now several frameworks that are moving to have this experience management trend. And I think that it's really important to start with a movement. We need to evangelize all our customers, our users, and of course our workforce, because if we as leaders do not start promoting these aspects of understanding what customer needs, what are the issues that our customers are living in every single day. So we need to take this as part to define our experience and vision, what we are going to deliver to our customers. And this should be aligned with what customers want. And how we are going to align this, we should start asking. Ask what your customers want to have. Are you happy with the service we are providing? Yes, no. From 1 to 10, what grade or what points you are going to give to our service? Maybe 10 because I'm really happy with the service we are providing and you have empathy and you have service attitude. But what about if every single time I contact to the service desk or the IT operations, we have a long time for waiting, or maybe the resources, the technology have friction, they are complex. So we need to evaluate and to ask, what do you want?
Yeah.
The communication channels are enough for you, or are they correct for you? What are your preferences?
Yeah, you see me smiling right from the very beginning when you said, ask the customer.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of companies assume, well, just go ahead and ask them what they want to do. And I also smiled around, it's great if you're empathetic to me, but if you don't pick up the phone quickly enough, or if you don't solve my issue, I don't really care how nice you are. I want you to be nice, but solve this for me.
Let me tell you that the dissatisfaction in the global stats is because there is no first resolution rate. and because of the time of contacts and the waiting time. So maybe you as a customer start in the call or in the chat very happy, and you are, yes, I need to call the service desk. But if you pass a lot of time waiting someone to took your phone call or the chat, you will start getting desperate.
Yeah.
And angry, and this is dissatisfaction for us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So understand exactly. Just ask the customer and they'll let us know.
Yeah,
they really will.
It's only a question. Just get to them, ask them, and you will get ready to explore what they want. And this will help you to define the strategy. Experience should be designed. It is not an overnight task. You need to design and take time to understand what customers want.
Oh man, if I didn't have a whole bunch of other questions that I want to ask you today, I would end the episode right there. That was a fantastic hit. Yes, that was absolutely everything you just said there. But there's no way I'm going to let you get out of here without a couple more questions. And I'm going to ask you one of my favorite when it's getting the chance to talk to someone from a new region as far as CX Passport is concerned. And that is, I know you're there. You're in Mexico City. You've got a good pulse on the Mexican view to customer experience. How would you describe the Mexican approach to CX? How is it similar and how is it different to other regions of the world?
Well, let me tell you that sadly in Latin America, we have the worst customer experience in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is not something that I'm saying right now only for saying. This is based on the audits that we promote along the globe and with the ASDI standards. So it is really interesting that we can say that this maturity model is ranking since reactive to business-led, from 1 star to 4 stars. And in CX concept, for example, in Latin America and Mexico, is the lowest one and is in the reactive level. But if we compare maybe to Middle East, is the highest concept and is customer-led maturity level, 3 stars. In Asia, we have a proactive level that is 2 stars, what means that Latin America, we have to come aware of the power of emotions and start understanding maybe the impacts that our products or services having in our customers. We are providing services for humans, and sometimes we forget that we should have this human connection. And for leadership roles, should be designing this strategy for driving the force of the organization and understanding that customers want to have quality of the services that we are providing, but also we have to face the day-to-day life challenges. And addressing these challenges in the strategy will help us to have biggest results in the customer experience, and not only in the experiences that our customers are providing, also in the business outcome. So leaders should be focusing in the customer strategy.
Ariana, I can 100% tell you I did not expect you to answer that question the way you answered it, but I love the transparency, the honesty, and it provides just a pathway to great opportunity to continue to improve. Now, I will tell you, I've had some pretty good customer service when I've been in certain places. I mentioned going to Puerto Vallarta next week, and so I look forward to some good service. Well, regardless of what the experience is going to be on my trip coming up, you have certainly traveled in many places, and you know what it's like when travel can sometimes go awry, and it's nice to take a break and stop off in the first class lounge. So I'm going to invite you to do that with me today. We'll move quickly here, have a little bit of fun. What is a dream travel location from your past?
Well, Rick, it looks like we are starting to the confessions. Well, I'm a swimmer. So since my very young age, I loved any destination that included a beach. So I will say any of our Mexican beaches. And if you do not know them, write them in your checklist so you can visit them.
I am certainly a fan of many of the Mexican beaches. Let's see, certainly the Cancun region, Cozumel, all down the peninsula, not just Cancun, but down the peninsula, Cozumel, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta. I still haven't made it over to Cabo, and there's so many other beaches that I still haven't experienced, and many probably that I wouldn't even know about. So off air, you may have to tell me some of your favorite ones that we just won't let everybody else know, so it won't get so crowded.
Perfectly, yes. Let's see. La Paz at Baja California, it's a great one. I love to be there. Cozumel, you have mentioned it, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta. They are great. Huatulco, we have several beaches, and so you need to live the experience. We are talking about experience, so we need to be living this experience of swimming in our Mexican beaches.
I love it. Well, I love that your dream travel location from your past is your home country, right? You don't have to go somewhere to have a dream travel location right there. What is a dream travel location you've not been to yet?
Well, I'll see, and we continue with Latin America. I'll say Cartagena in Colombia.
Yeah.
With the Caribbean Sea as a guest, a lot of colors, culture, and I don't know, I need to be there. It's on my top of my list.
I have never been there either, and I really want to get there. So your excitement is helping to inspire that needs to be a more important list on my to-do travel list. Ariana, what is a favorite thing of yours to eat?
I'll say maybe seafood, because I don't eat meat. So I'll choose seafood, and you should also try Latin America gastronomic part, because we have really good desserts and dishes. So you need to taste our flavors in Latin America.
Yeah. I'll second that. As not a resident, but someone who's been there. Some of the best food that I've had was in Mexico City, and both restaurants. We went to several really nice restaurants. Couldn't tell you which ones they were too long ago, but then the street vendors and some of the street vendor food that you can get there was just spectacular. Now I'm going to challenge you with the other direction. What is something you were forced to eat when you were growing up, but you hated as a kid?
Well, meat. I know it's strange, but I never liked the smell and the texture. So meat was terrible, and up to now, I really hate meat.
Well, there we go. Okay. You may be the first to tell me that answer, but that's what I love about this is the uniqueness.
I told you, I'm strange, but I hate meat.
I love it. No, I won't let you say that. You're not strange. You're who you are, and everyone has different tastes, so it's all good. And it just means more meat for me. So it all works out. It makes things happy for everybody. So we gotta get back on the road here. What is one travel item, not including your phone, not including your passport, that you will not leave home without?
I'll say a selfie stick. Life is a collection of micro moments, so we need to capture them. And what better than images that can stay maybe on your Instagram feed or your camera roll?
I love that. I love the idea of the memories, the images, and sticking that in the head. Not just your memory, but also having that as a representation that you can enjoy for the future going forward. You had shared with me a story about Airbnb. We're talking about travel here. It actually kind of works out, where Airbnb actually embarked on a journey mapping exercise that completely reshaped their approach to the customer. Would you tell me more about that?
Sure. I'll tell you the summary of the story, because it's a long story. But Airbnb revolutionized the customer journey by using the Snow White framework, which involved mapping every step of the user experience with the detail and creativity of a storyboard. This is inspired in Disney narrative techniques. So Airbnb designers created this series of visual storyboards, and they were illustrating the customer journey or the user journey, and starting to have this initial research to have a post-stay experience. So this method allowed them to identify pain points, opportunities of improvement of the services that they are delivering, maybe ensuring also the seamless and delightful experiences for our users. And they visualize the customer journey such in a detailed way that they can engage with the alignment with the business expectations and also the guest expectations. So they landed this activity, and there is not only enough to book the journey. They started providing action plan to provide this seamless experience. Another example of these Airbnb techniques that they are implementing was a long time ago when the company started. the founders realized that the guests were not having this booking because the pictures, and with an analysis they realized that the pictures of the houses, the apartments, were not really nice to the
Hmm.
eyes of the guests.
Yeah.
So maybe because of the bad angles, bad resolution, and this was impacting the business outcomes and the guests not to book. So the founders started an initiative to go personally and taking the pictures by
Oh,
themselves. So
yeah.
having the guest perspective. And with this analysis, they started making suggestions to the host so they can take the best pictures in order to us as guests get in love with the places that we were going to stay.
That there's a couple of things woven in there in the story. One, I'm kind of imagining them actually going to the places. I can see
Yes.
why that became a service. There's there's a couple directions I could go with that, but I'm going to go one specific one, and that is this is an example of by understanding a customer pain point and improving the experience, a company can increase their revenue because this photography service, I imagine, is not a free service. And so is it something that's offered to, I'm not sure what the Airbnb term is, but owners of the homes that are offering them to their guests? Is that a revenue increase for Airbnb? Is that something that they can use to improve their margins?
Yes, of course, because they were, yeah, at the very beginning of the company, they were having good results because they were controlling all the aspects of the
Hmm.
guests. So when they let them go free, there are maybe these aspects of the resolution of the images. Also,
Yeah.
they take care about the application and the website. The website, if you go into Airbnb site, you are going to see a clean website with margins and the design really control, so we can see the main aspects that are important for us as guests. So
Hmm.
this is also decision making for us in order to book, and of course if we go to the other side, the revenue will go up. In the pandemics they had problems because we as guests were not having this booking, so they changed policies and the way they were providing the services, so they can maybe get better numbers in these bad
Yeah.
times that we were having.
Yeah. And so exactly, even customer experience helps pull you through even the bad times. Ariana, we're coming to the end of our time here. There's a question though that I wanted to ask you, and it's back to the themes for the service desk. There were a lot that were mentioned there. I want to focus on customer experience. You and I, we're kind of biased. We buy into customer experience. We believe it's a core one. How though does that customer experience improvement then influence the success of the other themes that are inside that path to success for the service desk?
Yes, first of all, we should think that it should be a holistic view. It is not going to work if we work in silos.
Yeah.
So everyone is part of this value chain. Every one of us will be responsible of providing maybe one task or maybe many tasks for giving this value to the customer at the end of this value chain in the means of services or products. So we should start working with developing the soft skills of the teams, also understanding the customer experience terms. What is experience for us? Experience is what we perceive of the product or service and what we make feel to the other persons when they interact with our products or service. This will be part of the strategy. Also, the automation will be part of this success in the strategy. But let's see, if we were talking since the very beginning about emotions, remember that emotions drive experiences. We
Mm.
should understand and address customer emotions in order to have this cornerstone in creating these exceptional experiences. In the service desk, empathy is a superpower. Empathy is a bridge with the customer hearts. By
Mm.
actively listening, acknowledging, being empathetic with the customer emotions, so we can build trust. Is the way that I think that should work in the strategy. Also, taking care about the digital touch points because will help us to understand and personalize the services. It is not enough to provide services that are one size fits all. We need to start understanding customer needs, expectations, preferences. So, as an example, if you go to the Netflix starting page in your application, you have personalized suggestions of your preferences. So, services in IT should be the same. The emotional intelligence also should be continuous learning and adaptation. So we need to develop these skills and train our staff, our workforce, and remember that emotions are the heartbeat of every experience. And maybe in every emotion will lie an opportunity to create an extraordinary experience.
I just want to let that sit for a second. I like the emotions or the heartbeat of experiences. That is fantastic, Ariana. Ariana, it's been a fun journey with you today, the conversation, both exploring the travel aspects of it, understanding customer experience in Mexico, and the approach to how technology and the IT service desk and all of that, these are still human experiences and what drives human and customer experiences. If folks wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and your approach to customer experience, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
You can ask in social medias. You have my LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, and social media is the main contact for being in touch.
Awesome. Well, I will certainly we'll get the LinkedIn one down there in the show notes, and folks can reach out to Aria. That's how Ariana and I came to know each other, is through LinkedIn as well. It has been a delightful ride today, Ariana. Thank you for sharing your insight with us, and thank you for allowing me to be able to now say that I have had a guest from Mexico. Ariana, thank you for being on CX Passport.
Thank you so much, Rick. I'm really happy to be here with you and your attendees.
Thanks for joining us this week on CX Passport. If you like today's episode, I have 3 quick next steps for you. Click subscribe on the CX Passport YouTube channel or your favorite podcast app. Next, leave a comment below the video or a review in your favorite podcast app so others can find and enjoy CX Passport too. Then head over to cxpassport.com for show notes and resources that can help you create tangible business results by delivering great customer experience. Until next time, I'm Rick Denton, and I believe the best meals are served outside and require a passport.